I hope you're not getting tired. All right, it's good to hear. The gentleman to speak to us next is known far and wide as a dynamic speaker and an award-winning author or co-author of 4 books, Stealing from God, Why Atheists Need God to Make That Case, I Don't Have Enough Faith to Be an Atheist, Correct, Not Politically Correct, and Legislating Morality. He's the president of CrossExamine.org, and as an apologist, he presents powerful and entertaining evidence for Christianity at churches, high schools, and secular college campuses. He has debated prominent atheists, including Christopher Hitchens and David Silverman, the president of American Atheist. He hosts an hour-long television broadcast every week on the NRB network, and he's here to tell us today why North Carolina got it right when it passed House Bill 2. Please welcome Dr. Frank Turek.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I'm glad the media is here, but let me tell you this. I don't know if anyone here is from the New York Times, but every morning I read the New York Times and the Bible just to see what both sides are doing. But thanks for being here, ladies and gentlemen. Winston Churchill said, "A lie gets halfway around the world before the truth has a chance to put its pants on." And the lies about HB True have gone around the world, but today here at the Capitol, the truth is putting its pants on. No pun intended. And we're moving forward. So I'd like to give you some reasons as to why North Carolina, Governor McCrory, Lieutenant Governor Forrest, and all the great legislators here, got it right. And the first thing I want to say is the first reason North Carolina got it right is because the number one role of government is public safety. That's what the number one role of government is, public safety. And nobody here on this panel, nobody here, I wouldn't think out here, is worried about a transgendered person going into the bathroom. What we're worried about is a heterosexual predator who uses it as a ruse to gain access to the bathroom. That's the real problem here. So we need to be clear about that. I mean, Governor McCrory said, how are we talking about this? I agree. How could this possibly be controversial to keep men out of women's bathrooms? How could this be controversial? Are we to risk the safety of millions of women and children just because a very few people have a mismatch between their psychology and their biology? I don't think that that's wise public policy. We need to protect millions of people. And with all due compassion to people who struggle with their sexual identity, opening up bathrooms to everybody does not help them. Also, HB2, as it's been said here before, actually accommodates people who have had sex change operations and can document it. They can go to the bathroom of their new gender. Also, the second reason they got it right is all you hear about is discrimination, but HB2 discriminates against no one. You see, all laws discriminate, but they discriminate against behaviors, not people. HB2 discriminates against the behavior of a man going into a woman's restroom. It does not discriminate against people. If any law discriminates against anyone, it's the improper law that was passed by the Charlotte City Council, which actually discriminates against women and children, and it makes them unsafe. That particular law makes them unsafe. You know, it's interesting, the ACLU has already filed a lawsuit saying that HB2 somehow discriminates against some folks. It denies them equal protection. Ironically, it was the Charlotte law that denied women and children equal protection in bathrooms. Number 3, the third reason North Carolina got it right is because people are equal, but their behaviors are not. Every human being, whether they identify in any particular way, is made in the image of God and deserves our respect. But that doesn't mean that every behavior an individual expresses is a good behavior. I mean, I have desires I ought not act on too. And the law is concerned with behaviors, not feelings. We need to keep that straight. There's a difference between attractions and actions. And all of us have attractions we ought not act on. But that doesn't mean every action that we want to engage in as a result of our attractions is a good action. So laws discriminate against behaviors, not against people. Also, so what I'm saying here is nobody's being discriminated against. Behavior's being discriminated against. Going into a bathroom is a behavior. The fourth reason that North Carolina got it right is their law only applies to public facilities. It does not apply to private businesses. So any of these private businesses that are upset about it can have any bathroom policy they want. Let me ask you a question. Does the NFL allow women into into women's bathrooms? Does it allow men into women's bathrooms? The NFL do so? Does the NBA do so? Does PayPal do so? No. Does Marriott do so? Does Lowe's do so? Do any of these companies do so? No, they don't. So why do they want to force the government to force everybody to do so? They're not even doing it themselves. In fact, why aren't these companies, somebody already brought it up here, Cuba, why aren't they pulling out of Saudi Arabia, Cuba, and Iran? These are companies that are actually murdering people that have certain sexual orientations. And this just shows that these companies are not actually reading the bill. They're just taking their marching orders, as my brother David Benham here said, from the misnamed Human Rights Campaign. They're not even reading the bill. And that's the problem. They don't even know what's in it. And their knee-jerk reaction to the bill, if it's discrimination, we got to be against it. Well, you're discriminating against women and children. How about that? In fact, I think their moral outrage is not only misdirected, it shows that they're willing to put women and children at risk here, but they'll sacrifice nothing to save the people they say they care about who are experiencing real evil abroad. This is the height of hypocrisy, ladies and gentlemen. The fifth reason North Carolina got it right, and I only have 22 reasons. No, I'm almost done. The fifth reason North Carolina got it right is because HB 2 has nothing to do with race or civil rights, because race and LGBT are not the same. This guy agrees. You see, race is not a behavior and has no impact on your behavior. Your race doesn't impact your behavior at all. But LBGT issues are behaviors, and LBGT political goals, and they have a right to have these goals, but they're all about imposing behaviors on other people, like celebrating same-sex marriages or like allowing men into women's restrooms. Those are behaviors. So this is not a civil rights issue at all. Finally, North Carolina got it right because opposition to harmful behavior is not bigotry or hate. It is wise to oppose behavior that can hurt women and children. It's not bigotry or hate. Unfortunately, some on the left and businesses falsely equate opposition to behavior with prejudice toward people who may want to engage in that behavior. It is not bigotry, it is not hate, it is not prejudice. It is wise if somebody wants to advocate a behavior that is going to be damaging. It is wise to oppose that. In fact, that's the central fallacy in virtually every argument the misnamed Human Rights Campaign puts out. The fallacy is, I'm going through puberty right here. The fallacy is that if you don't agree with every aspect of LBGT political goals, you somehow hate people who want to engage in that behavior. If that really is hate, then the misnamed Human Rights Campaign is actually hating conservatives because we oppose their goals and they oppose our goals. It's not hate to oppose political goals. It's what America's all about. In fact, the truth is conservatives have good reasons based on public health and safety for not wanting to advocate either same-sex marriage or men in women's bathrooms, but it's much easier for the Misnamed Human Rights Campaign to demagogue that and to call people names. That's the problem. So there's a lot of reasons why North Carolina got it right. There's a column I wrote called 6 Reasons Why North Carolina Got It Right. You can Google that if you want it. But the point here is that lies go around the world very quickly. And if we don't stand up, the lies are going to one day overcome our ability to even stand up. That's the problem. Let me say one last thing, ladies and gentlemen. You notice how I haven't even mentioned God or religion here. This really doesn't have much to do with God or religion, other than it opposes God's natural design. We're not trying to impose religion here. We are trying to impose morality, and all laws impose morality. All laws declare one behavior right and the opposite behavior wrong. The other side's trying to impose their morality. So the question isn't whether or not you can impose morality. The question is, whose morality will we impose? And my point is, we ought not impose my morality or your morality. We ought to impose the morality. The one Thomas Jefferson said was self-evident. All laws impose morality. And by the way, if you have a problem, people say, don't impose your morals on me. What I say is, why not? Would that be immoral? And secondly, you're imposing your morality on me right now by saying I can't impose my morality. But look, this isn't my morality. I did not make this up. I did not make up that men were made for women and women were made for men, that men and women are different. I did not make up the fact that abortion's wrong, that murder's wrong, that rape is wrong, that theft is wrong. I did not make any of that up. I'm just recognizing it. If you've got a problem with the natural order of reality, you don't have a problem with me. You've got a problem with the author of reality.